How's it going, YouTube? This is for anybody that likes RCs and more specifically the new Rustler 4x4. I just got this a few days ago, and I've been doing RC and RC racing for about 3 years now. Um, I could never afford it as a kid, so uh, some guy traded me an RC car for a drone my brother-in-law gave me that was broke, and I guess I got hooked. I used to be a guy that played a lot of sports, but um, I did a tour of duty in Afghanistan, and I got rocked a few times, and I can't do anything that um, could possibly take contact. So racing my real car, anything like that, I can't do anymore. So this is pretty fun, and I'm putting this video up to show just a few things that I've done to it already um, that I seen as weak points. So let's get to it. All right. So first off, that self-riding system, I can't really get it to work. But then again, I don't like using any assists, traction control, or anything like that. It, it it really helps. It really doesn't. Um, Help me do what I want to do with my RC cars. So uh, first things first is the gearing was 54 and 11 straight out of the box, and I put in what battery did I use? SMC 7200 120 discharge rate, and it's just had really low top end for what I was expecting, but I bumped up a few teeth to 14, and it was like a rocket. I'm running 16 now pretty safely. I think I was like 135 degrees, and I live down here in Florida. So, but still I run the fans. This is this actually a pretty loud fan, just racing fan, and I didn't go with the Vleneon just because I think it was like $20 or something for the thing. This was like $8. I think it's a Racer's Edge fan. It's made for the Vleneon system, so it was a cheaper buy, works just fine. But one of the first things that I did, and I've had a Traxxas Rally before, and I've done similar things to upgrade it as this. The part of the motor mount is definitely one of the things I always do. It doesn't add that much weight, and I found out I had almost an 8-degree difference in running temps. I'm just guessing the heat from the motor and up to the aluminum motor mount transferred into this rear mount, or whatever you want to call it, just dissipates more heat. It's the only thing I could think of. But I'm only running like half a turn off the slipper, which this was fully locked down when I got it. I also wanted to go to the Techno drive shaft, because what I do and how we race these, which we race them in a GT class, it's kind of run what you brung as long as it's 10 scale and 2S lipo. The things that I always break are the axle shafts, and I start stripping out the drive shaft down in here, and so I was going to go directly and upgrade to that. Well, it's about 1/4 of an inch too long, and I'm a welder, and I'll be able to shorten that drive shaft. But just for anybody out there, to go to the Techno drive shaft, you cannot do it unless you can modify it, as well as this rear mount I had to modify. Now back here, way down there, I don't know if you can see it, but let me see. Let's get this battery strap, or this battery to hold down. So what this twists on right here. See how it goes down? It's got that extra, all that right there. Like, there we go. All that back in there. That's how that goes down in there and stays in there. The regular slash motor mount will not fit in here unless you trim, I don't know, eighth of an inch off that corner. I did it with a bench grinder. It was pretty quick, but you know, you got to do that to make it fit. I went to the GTR shocks just because I like them. It's easier to do better adjustments or quicker adjustments. But the ones that came out of the box are with the car just fine. They're pretty smooth, a little light on the oil. Even with the stock ride height and stock tires, it was slapping. The sway bars or the anti-roll bars really do help if you know how to set them up right. But for me, I had to change my roll center. I went up one and all the way to the inside, and it really helped with the responsiveness. You could really, I found out I could really throw this car around, especially with these tires I have on it. And I still have complete control. So I've only broke one thing so far, and it was the bell crank. And I've done it before on slash 4x4 vehicles, and I'm pretty sure the servo is going to go out here soon too. But just an STRC aluminum bell crank. Yeah, I don't really like going aluminum, but I think certain parts help. You know, this is covered. You know, it doesn't get hit. It doesn't get wrenched on by anything. So I think this is a good piece to upgrade, you know, as well as the part of the motor mount. And later on, maybe a few things. But other things that take big hits, I don't like replacing with aluminum. And I never really did early on when I started this RC thing, because I just didn't want to pay for the pieces. But I'm pretty sure now I hardly ever wreck. You know, usually if I do, it's because I run into somebody else. But the drive shaft or the drive axles, I'm waiting on to see anything. And I was jamming on this pretty darn good Monday night, and I don't see anything. You know, usually I don't ever see anything in here. It's in the U-joints. You know, the stretching out or the bending of the eyelet, and I haven't seen anything yet. So far these hold up really well. And if they do hold up for you, then I would not change them to anything metal, because it lightens the load on the car, and the less weight of rotating mass, the better your motor's going to run. So I'm going to continue with these until I see some breakages, or I feel like upgrading the electronics, which I might, to like a Tekin 4300 system. You know, the longer cans with the 5mm shaft, or a hobby wing. And I'll be getting significantly more torque, so I might have to upgrade to like an X Duty. I really want to stay with the thinner axle shafts, but I don't think those are going to hold up for what I do with this. But just thought I'd throw a few bits of information out there for you guys if you're looking to get one of these 4x4 Rustlers. Have fun and keep RC racing.